Hey there folks, Uniform Guy again, here with another review, and in this video we'll be looking at the Mountie uniform, or to give it its correct title, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police Review Order Uniform. As with most of my videos, I'll be working from the top down to the bottom. I'll also give some history about this uniform as we go. So starting at the top with the headgear, we have the Stetson. This is a felt Stetson with a dark brown leather band. If the camera focuses and we get light, we can see where it was made. It says Billimore, and on the other side, a bit difficult doing this one-handed, on the other side, should just make out there, R.C.M.P. So this hat wasn't officially RCMP headgear to begin with when the RCMP was first created. When it was first created, it was called the Northwest Mounted Police. They were made up of cavalry and artillery units. And their first headgear was the pillbox hat. It's a sort of 5 to 6 inch tall, round hat, no brim, no sort of peak on it, that you'd stuff with straw, put over one ear, stick your finger in the other ear, and it allowed you to pull the lanyard of the artillery piece without deafening yourself. And when the Northwest Mounted Police were first founded, Canada was flat, dry prairie land. Pillbox hat was of no use, so they said to the British government, we need a new hat. So they sent them out a pith helmet, which British forces were given when in tropical lands. It's perfect. It's designed for the heat that Canada had back then. The only issue was it was white, dry, dusty prairie land. It became the same colour as the Stetson there quite quickly. Troops of the Northwest Mounted Police would try and polish their helmet with crushed chalk and lime, which did work until it rained. This would then run down onto the tunic and ruin it. They applied for a new hat. British government said no. They bought the Stetsons out of their own pocket because they saw local farmers wearing them. This became official part of the uniform when they went down to the Second Zulu War to help train locals, and the king gave them the royal prefix to their name. All the troops that approached the king wore the Stetson, and nobody wanted to tell them off in front of the king, so the Stetson became official Northwest Mounted Police uniform. In the 1920s, their name changed from Royal Northwest Mounted Police to Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and then in 1975 they were allowed to have the GRC prefix, which recognised the bilingual nature of Canada. As you can see, they still keep the scarlet tunic, which is the same as British forces would have had back when the Northwest Mounted Police was created, sort of in the 1800s. Although this is a 4-pocket tunic, quite similar to that of the older style #1 uniform of the British Army. I'll show you on the epaulets. You can also see, there we go, the GRC RCMP GRC prefix to RCMP. Now this tunic was actually made in 1971, so it initially didn't have the GRC prefix. It was updated in 75 to have it. Under the tunic is worn, if I can get this open, let's go for the buttons as opposed to the clasp. Sorry about the focus. Underneath the tunic, I'll show you there, we've got a cream button-up shirt, which is identical to that worn by the British Army in the old number 2s, which I believe have been replaced with the fads, the Future Army dress. The only difference is this shirt on its shoulders has a police badge of the RCMP. As you'll notice, we have the lanyard, which is the one I spoke of earlier. It would have been affixed to a firing piece like a cannon to fire. However, on this uniform, it is used to hold the sidearm in the holster down here. As this uniform is a early to mid-70s one, the sidearm would have been either a Webley or an Enfield revolver. Unfortunately, I do not have one with this uniform. It's, as you can see, a Sam Brown style belt with a quick release buckle. So this buckle doesn't actually do up. There's clasps behind which just hold on to it. This style has now started to be adopted by the British Army as well. The pouch here is a ammunition pouch for the revolver, so it usually carry either speed loaders filled with rounds or possibly just loose rounds. The pouch on the side here is a handcuff pouch which would hold chain cuffs, which I have just here. This is the old hiatus or hattus chain cuffs, which the British police would have used probably up until the late 90s, early 2000s. Have the trousers here, which have a thick yellow stripe down the leg, which I believe was present on the original Northwest Mounted Police uniform. It was certainly present on the pillbox hat. These trousers are blousoned cavalry. They do kind of blousen out, as you can see to the left. And then the boots, as you can see, are high leg riding boots. They lace up the front and then they lace up the side of the leg. And there's corresponding laces to tighten the trousers to the ankle. So these are sort of like ankle high. They don't go all the way down to the ankle, they sort of stop. So probably about halfway above the shin. There are some badges on this tunic as well. You've got the camera focuses, come on, focus. So you've got a rifleman badge there and a marksman with a revolver badge there. That is a basic RCMP constable uniform. I do have another one to show you which is of slightly more importance. So I'm just going to quickly pause the video and come back with the other one. Right, so we're back. I've moved the mannequin out of the way to show you the other RCMP tunic I have. This, as said, is a more important one. It is more up to date. So this one is early 2000s. So we just go to the patches to show you. These are both gold embroidered, as a part to the other one where only one was gold embroidered. And there is a crown on here to show that he is a marksman in revolvers. There's also a diamond up on the sleeve here, which shows it to be a 5-year service constable. Another change is there is a Velcro closing on the neck as opposed to a heavy brass buckle. And probably the most impressive part of this tunic is a patch on the other sleeve. As we can see, it is 2 spears with white and red flags on them. And what makes this patch impressive is that this tunic was worn by an officer in the RCMP musical ride, which if it's something you haven't seen, is quite impressive to see. There's another thing on this tunic. If I just unbutton it, you actually have the officer's name penned inside it. If it focuses there, so there's the name of the officer that's penned inside it. And I was lucky enough to actually get this tunic from the officer himself. He was originally from a station in Banff. I got his tunic, his hat, and he actually gave me a ceremonial plaque that would hang in most police stations. It was a small wooden plaque with the R.C.M.P. cat badge, like this one here, in a thick heavy brass. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video on the R.C.M.P. uniform, and thank you for watching.